If you're looking to add some additional creature comforts to your 2018 or newer JL Wrangler, this Red Rock cup holder will be a great pick. Now, some JLs don't come with cup holders in the back, which can be a major inconvenience to your rear passengers, so this is going to be a great mod if you want to add a bit of comfort to the rear seats, especially if you have passengers often. This also is just an easy mod that just elevates the feel to the rear, even if it's just you and your cup collection that's hanging out in your Wrangler. Now, this is going to clip and bolt into the factory location, so you'll be removing that tray and replacing it with the cup holders here, which will bring an OE feel, being pretty unrecognizable that it's an aftermarket mod. Now, I think what's most notable about this is that this is going to resemble the OE cup holder with the squared design detailing on the outer part of the cup holder here, and it's even going to have the raised bumps on the inside to make sure that your cup or drink stays in place. Now, this will be made of a tough ABS plastic material, being very durable for what this is, which is very important for the location that it's in, especially with it being in the lower footwell area, especially if you have passengers in the middle. A lot of the time, this area is very susceptible to get kicked or stepped on, especially by your kids or pets, so having a durable construction is well worth it, and this is going to bring that to the table. This will also have a molded design for a seamless fit and features that textured OE finish, again, that blends incredibly well into the interior. Now, this is going to come in at about $75, putting this at a pretty reasonable price for an interior upgrade. Now, compared to other storage solutions, you really can't beat this one when it comes to the way that this resembles the factory and is so easy to just pop in for a lot of convenience in the back, making it well worth that $75. So install is going to be super easy out of 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, probably taking you about 15 minutes to get the job done with some super basic hand tools. Again, this is going to bolt in, so it's going to have that seamless fit, and you're also going to get some clips at the back to make sure that this middle and bottom portion is secured and staying in place. However, speaking of the install, one of our customers here at XT has actually installed this on their JL at home and is going to walk you through what that process looks like step by step. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Let's go ahead and get into it.
Okay guys, here's all the tools I used. This is a trim removal tool that I used to take the covers off of the 10mm bolts that are on the lower portion of the console. This is a pair of needle nose pliers. I ended up using these to take out those metal clips that ended up getting stuck in the bottom part of the metal, or the center console, the clips that had to go onto the back of the new cup holder. 10mm socket and socket wrench to remove the bolts in the lower part of the center console. This is another a socket wrench with a bit driver to put the T20 Torx bit into to remove some of the fasteners. Just a screwdriver with a T20 Torx bit. Again, most of the fasteners are T20 Torx bit. And then a small screwdriver. I use that to help me get the metal clips out. You could also use a small screwdriver in place of the trim removal tool to remove the panels over the 10mm bolts.
Hey everybody, today we're going to be installing the Red Rock rear floor mounted cup holders in my 2022 Jeep Wrangler Sahara 4xe.
So the first step in the installation process is going to be raising the lid for the center console and taking out these 2 Torx fasteners that are in the center console using a T20 Torx bit. Now that we have those 2 T20 Torx fasteners removed from the center console, we're going to go ahead and move both the driver and passenger seat all the way to their forwardmost positions. After moving the seats all the way forward, we need to remove the bolt covers on each side of the side console, center console. One here and one located on the other side in the same spot. I'm going to use a trim tool to try to remove these. You could also use a small screwdriver. I'll pop that one off. And the same on the other side. Now underneath, there are 10mm bolts. One here and again, one on the other side. So we're going to use a 10mm socket wrench. Go ahead and remove those. There we go, there's one. that's 2. Now that we have the lower bolts removed, we're going to use the same trim tool that we used to take the covers off to pry the upper portion of the rear part of the center console off. Honestly, I didn't really need the pry tool, it came right off. Once that's off, we're going to disconnect the electrical connections that are in the back. Now it may be helpful to use a small screwdriver to help remove some of these electrical connections. There are locks on some of these, so when you're removing them, make sure you move the red locking tabs to the unlock position before you try to take the connector apart, otherwise you'll break them. There we go, all the electrical connections have been undone. We're going to go ahead and set the upper portion of the center console to the side. Now that the upper portion of the rear center console has been removed, there are 2 Torx fasteners we need to remove, one here and one on the other side. Again, these are T20, so we're going to go ahead and use the T20 bit to remove those now. Now that we have the rear part of the center console removed and unplugged, we need to go ahead and lift up on the center console and remove 2 more T20 fasteners that are located underneath, one on each side. To make that easier on myself, I went and got a socket to drive the T20 bit instead of the screwdriver, because the screwdriver was going to be a little long to fit underneath there. So we're going to lift up. Couple of pops. And there's one fastener right here and one on the other side. Now that this one's loose, I'm just spinning the ratchet by hand to thread the fastener the rest of the way out. There we go, there's one. Same place on the other side. Alright, that's 2 removed. Now, this should just come away. There we go. One side. And the other. And that's the rear portion of the console removed. When I removed my center console, the 2 metal clips that were supposed to be clipped onto the console piece stayed into the center console, so I got a pair of pliers to go ahead and remove those so that I can reinstall them on the new cup holder. I'm gonna go ahead and use a screwdriver along with this pair of pliers to try to get this to come out. There we go. There's the first one. So I actually ended up pushing this clip all the way through, and I think it'll come out the back side. Yep, there, came out the back. Now that I got those 2 clips out, they need to be installed on the new cup holder, one on each of these ears. So go ahead and take these and push them on. And we're ready to install the cup holder in the Jeep. Okay, the installation process is going to be more or less the exact reverse of the removal. First, we're going to take the new cup holder and put it in place and press those metal tabs into the slots, one on each side. So we set the cup holder in place, line up the tabs. I pointed the upper tabs, the lower tabs, and then seat it. There we go. Just like that. Now we're gonna have to raise the console back up, put the 2 T20 fasteners that we removed from underneath back in. That's one. Second one. That's 2. The center console back in place. Okay, after getting the bottom underneath T20 fasteners put back in, we're going to put the upper T20 fasteners back in. It's the first one in, second one. Now when you put these in, they don't have to be incredibly tight. These are just going into metal clips in plastic. So just tight enough to hold them. There we go. Now we're going to take the upper portion of the console, plug back in all the electrical, and reinstall it. So the large gray one goes in the bottom. The one with the red locking tab goes next. Make sure to relock it. The largest connector goes in the very top. Again, relock the connector, and the white one goes to the white. Once that's done, you can align that top portion. There are two clips that you need to clip into place in the bottom. And that's reinstalled. We need to put the two 10mm bolts into the side. We'll do that next. First 10mm bolt. We go ahead and put the plastic cover back on that. Second 10mm bolt. It's tight, and the plastic cover. Now these plastic covers will only go in one way. There is a correct way to orient them. I believe it's the one with the 3 tabs goes on the bottom. Let's check that. Yep, that's correct. Now we can move around back up front and put the two T20 fasteners back into the underneath the console lid. All right, final step is to again raise the lid of the center console and put the two T20 fasteners back in. It's one. And two. And that's it, guys.
So that's going to wrap it up for my review and the install of this Red Rock cup holder fitting all 2018 and newer JL Wranglers. And remember, for all things Jeep, keep it right here at extremeterrain.com.